this is interesting, and I want to jump to a
Yep, it's
topic
your
because
turn.
it was on my list, and then I feel like we kind of touched on it was the idea of Thanksgiving.
Oh,
So, and the reason I want to bring it up is clearly, we did just have Thanksgiving, but it was so fascinating. Two very good friends of mine um, had a little dispute about what Thanksgiving is.
okay.
Because, there's a lot of, and I'm sure, if you go on social media, there are a number of people that are like, this is a horrible holiday and it's about indigenous people and how, Americans just came in and like, or Europeans came in and
Yep.
massacred the natives and indigenous people and like took their land. And so one friend of mine was like, well, but that wasn't what the real first Thanksgiving was like. It's about coming together, friends and family, and just being thankful. And my other friend was like, that's totally kind of not the version that that's not what really happened. And I looked it up. I read a couple articles, and yeah, clearly it was not like people coming and sitting down and this
No.
roasty dinner. But what I thought was interesting is it really made me feel like it shouldn't even be about that, right? Like we need to stop whitewashing history because that's really what it is. It's the whitewashing of, Americans who wrote the history books of being like, oh, these were the pilgrims and the Indians, and they call them Indians, which drives, but even when I was a kid, they used to do that. And it's like, they, brought them turkey, but like kind of leave everything else out. But then I thought, well, fuck that. Like, one, I think everyone should have a day to be thankful. Like, remove the pilgrims, remove Native Americans,
Hmm.
from the conversation and make it a day that you were absolutely fucking thankful to be alive. You
Yeah.
were thankful to have fresh air, to have friends, to have family, to have a day off from work,
Yeah.
to just be and eat really good food and keep the same food, right? Like who doesn't
Right.
love a turkey dinner?
Yeah.
Like it's great. But really just kind of changing ownership of that. And it's not to take away from Native, right? I mean, clearly what has been done to Indigenous people here in the United States was fucking terrible.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's like, yeah, I have no personal problem. Fuck Columbus, make it Indigenous Peoples Day. Like, fuck
Yeah.
that guy. But I do think that I feel like, and it kind of ties back a little bit into the loneliness conversation of like, if you can really focus on the things that are good in your life, which isn't always an easy thing to do,
Right.
it may help.
Yeah. Well, and it's so funny that you should say that because a long, long, long time ago for me, I gave up what the history books dictate to me I have to celebrate, and I celebrate what I want to celebrate, right? I celebrate that I get 2 days off in a row and a 4 day weekend. That's what
Yeah,
I'm ecstatic about. And that to me, that is the only value, for lack of a better word, that Thanksgiving holds now. Because
yeah.
I may not get together with friends and family. I might. So that's even secondary to me. Is it a day to reflect on being grateful? Hell yes. I love that idea. But
Yeah.
I'm not attributing it to the success of pilgrims raping, pillaging, and destroying Native American life. I have separated myself from that. Now, maybe that's bad in that we're not holding anyone accountable, and that's a separate argument. But you're right. I like Thanksgiving because I get 4 days off in a row. I don't even like Christmas as much because I don't get 4 days off in a row.
No, well, not to mention Christmas is tied to gifts and there's all this pressure. Like
Yeah.
there's no gifts.
Yeah.
It's
Nope.
just food and
Good food, good
drinks and
friends, good family, good
time.
conversation, good
Mhm.
football. Well, it'd be good football if the Steelers played on Thanksgiving, but it's mediocre football on Thanksgiving when it's not the Steelers, but still it's just, yeah, I do agree, you know, and we could fight and fight and fight about all the horrible things that as a country we have done to people, right?
Mhm.
That's endless. We could do an endless list of all the horrible things that happen, and not just in this country, but in all countries. So,
Mhm.
and actually, my sister and I just had this conversation about, she, you know, she doesn't like religion,
Right.
right? And I
Mm.
said, there's nothing wrong with religion. Religion's okay. It's when you get the people involved. People
Fuck
is
it
what
all up.
fucks everything up. Yes. So, and me included, right? I am including myself in the people because I make mistakes and I do things that are not right
Mm.
often.
Yeah.
But and that's true of it. I'm okay with just saying, you know what, Thursday we're going to be thankful, like just take a moment and realize how lucky
Mhm.
and blessed, for lack of a better term, we all are, or I am. And then there are other people that are not as blessed as I am, and to be aware of maybe ways I can help those people. And yes, the first Thanksgiving has been whitewashed probably significantly, and I'm even going to go out on a limb and say we're probably never going to really know the depth of the whitewash of the first Thanksgiving because
Oh,
none of
sure.
us were there. Right?
No.
And
And victors write history.
yeah, don't we?
Hmm.
And you're right. Interesting. Very interesting, as a matter of fact. So, I mean, and yeah, I mean, I would very much like to recognize um, Native American or Indigenous American Day, which, by the way, is the day after, right? It's on my calendar, it popped up on Friday. So I know it is an official holiday.
Mm.
I just don't know what it entails, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I knew that there was some indigenous celebrations in Nevada because we have indigenous reservations here, which is just another thing. Like, what are we're telling people here you can live on this. I mean, it's just what we did was crazy, but
Insane.
it's done. So how do we how do we fix it? I don't know.
I mean, I think it's going to just happen over time. But it was so interesting in that same conversation. Another friend that was involved in it said, you know, mentioned that in Japan, I believe it was Japan, that they have like no holidays associated with religion or people. They have like Ocean Day and you celebrate the ocean, or
I
you
love
have
that
like
idea.
Bird Day, you know, you celebrate birds or like whatever it is. It's just, and they have quite a few of them,
Hmm.
and or celebrate the sky
Yeah. I,
or air.
I'm all for doing one a week. Let's do one a holiday a week, and we'll celebrate air and trees and cats and dogs and all of those things, and give myself a 3-day weekend. I'm in.
That would be so lovely.
Oh, wouldn't it be nice? And it's funny because I love my job, and yet I really did like my 4-day weekend. I gotta tell you,
Yeah, same. Yep. It's great. I
very.
mean, that's the thing is I love the company, I love the product, I love my boss, like everything is great, but I still enjoy time off.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
That's
having to think about it, not have
yeah.
to.
We get to do what we want. I colored my hair and washed it, and I'm baking half a turkey, and I'm sous videing the other half of the turkey because I can.
Nice.
If you want to hear the extended version of this show or some of our outtakes, go to our Patreon page, which will be listed below, and don't forget to subscribe.
And don't forget to donate to your local food bank.
Oh, amen. Preach it, sister.